Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Atlas series. I'm Guna Madhivanan from Officers IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Earth Summit. But before knowing about Earth Summit, let me first explain about a Stockholm Declaration. So in 1972, UN was organizing a conference on human environment. UN was organizing a conference on human environment. Many countries around the world was participating in the conference. India was also participating. And this conference was focused on reducing the pollution level, air pollution, land pollution, water pollution. In this conference was also focusing on reducing the anthropogenic impact on environment. This was the core discussion, pollution and reduce the impact of humans on environment, right? So this conference was held in a place called Stockholm in Sweden, and this declaration of the conference is called the Stockholm Declaration. See, only after this declaration, if you take India, we were coming up with Wildlife Protection Act, we were coming up with the Water Pollution Control Act, Air Pollution Control Act, etc. Right? Now, after 20 years from 1972, in 1992, that is 20 years after the Stockholm Declaration, in 1992, in a place called as Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, in the city Rio de Janeiro, UN was organizing an important conference, UN Conference on Environment and Development. Right? Maybe the 1972 Stockholm Declaration can be seen as a predecessor for this particular conference. So 72 conference was about pollution and reduce the impact against environment, human impact against environment. After 20 years, that is in 1992, UN was organizing a conference on environment and development, which is also called as Earth Summit. This 72 declaration was not coming up with big impact. So UN came with one more conference. Worldwide countries are participating. And three important conventions were signed in this Earth Summit. Three important conventions were signed. So the first convention is the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So the first one is regarding climate change. The second declaration was regarding CBD, that is Convention on Biological Diversity. Convention on Biological Diversity, biodiversity. The third convention was related to UNCCD. This is to combat desertification. Desertification of land. Land is getting degraded. So UNCCD is United Nations Convention to combat desertification. So three important agreements were signed. It was the product of the UN Conference on Environment and Development, which was held in 1992. That summit we are referring it as Earth Summit. Right? UNFCCC focuses on climate change, CBD is on biological diversity, UNCCD is on desertification. Now, the countries which were signing this convention, those countries which signed UNFCCC, those countries which signed CBD, these countries which are signing these conventions are called as parties. Parties to the convention. Right? If India is signing UNFCCC, then India is a party to UNFCCC convention. India is a party. If India signs CBD, then India is a party to the CBD. So India is a party to all the three, UNFCCC, CBD and UNCCD. So the parties to this convention is called as, the signatories of this convention is called as parties. Now these parties, they will be meeting at regular intervals. For example, the parties to the UNFCCC, they will meet every year. The parties to the biodiversity and desertification, they will be meeting once in 2 years. They will be meeting once in 2 years. So now the focus area is on UNFCCC. The focus is on UNFCCC, right? So the parties to this UNFCCC, they will be meeting every year. Every year you will have the conference of these parties. Every year you will find the conference of these parties, conference of those signatories who signed this agreement. Remember, UNFCCC is not a proper binding agreement. UNFCCC, it is just a framework. It is just a framework. It will not set any binding limit. Just India signing this agreement itself doesn't mean that there is some binding limit on India. No. UNFCCC is not setting any binding limit. UNFCCC aims to stabilize the greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere. The aim of UNFCCC is to combat climate change. Why climate is changing? The greenhouse gases is increasing. So global warming, climate is changing. So the intention of UNFCCC is to address the climate change by stabilizing the greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere. Now, India or any country signing this convention itself doesn't mean that there is target given on India on emission control. Not like that. This UNFCCC is just a framework. The framework will outline how the parties can negotiate and sign and binding agreement. So this is just a framework which outlines how the parties, how the signatories can form an agreement, set binding limits, how they can arrive at that. That is outlined in this UNFCCC. Right? For the first time in 1995, the signatories, the parties to the UNFCCC, they were having their annual conference. COP1 was conducted in 1995. Some important conference of parties, let me highlight here. For example, 1997, in the UNFCCC Conference of Parties, an important agreement was signed that is referred as Kyoto Protocol. This Kyoto Protocol is setting up emission limit on developing countries. It is keeping a limit target and that has to be achieved. This is Kyoto Protocol. You would have heard about Kyoto Protocol. Now I hope you are able to locate where this Kyoto Protocol is actually. Alright, then another most significant meeting was held in the year 2015. That is Conference of Parties 21. Conference of Parties 21st meeting, 21st Conference of Parties, which was held in 2015 in Paris. And Paris Climate Deal was signed. What is this Paris Climate Deal? The Paris Climate Deal aims to ensure that the global temperature is well below the 2 degrees Celsius mark, well above the pre-industrial era, right? So, put it simply, this Paris Climate Deal will not allow our global temperature to exceed 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. But given the trend, we will exceed 2 degrees Celsius. We do not know what is going to happen. But however, this COP21 was held in 2015, which was resulting in Paris Climate Deal Agreement, very, very significant, which we have to know. Right? So then we had this COP26, which was COP26, which was held in 2021. COP26, which was held in Glasgow in UK. In Scotland, we have a place called as Glasgow. Scotland is in UK. So this was another significant summit which we have to note down. And now in 2023, why it was in news in the November month, December month in 2023, we saw COP28. This COP28 is held in Dubai, UAE, right? So since COP28 was in news, so to understand this COP28, I was explaining the roots. So COP28 is connected with UNFCCC and UNFCCC is connected with Earth Summit. And Earth Summit was an improvement over the Stockholm Declaration in 1972. That is why I started from 1972. So now you understood where this COP28 lies. So in this video, we have discussed all this. In the upcoming videos, I will explain what all happened in 28, what decisions we took, significance of this COP28 meeting, everything which we will discuss in the upcoming video. Right? I hope the topic was useful. So I will meet you next video with another important interesting topic. Till then, bye. Take care.